how do you practice your happiness skill? Well, I want to share one really powerful way with you today, and it's the skill of gratitude. This was the first skill that I began to practice on my journey, and I want to tell you why, and the question I had to ask is, why is gratitude so important? What is gratitude? Well, gratitude is very simple. It's zooming in and focusing your attention on the small good moments, people, comforts, and experiences that are already part of your life today, as it is. All those little things that we are so good at taking for granted. Right, this morning I came out of my hotel room. I came here yesterday from Boston, so I'm like on a different time zone. I don't even know what time it is, and I was so tired. I hadn't slept in a day, and I came out of my hotel, and I just felt the sun on my face. And it's so easy in that moment to just keep going, to treat that little moment just, okay, well, this happens all the time, but I have to get to my talk, to my rehearsal. Gratitude means that we don't take those little things for granted, but we honor them with our presence and our attention. And why is that so important? Here's why. All of your brains, all of you sitting here today, all of your brains have what's called a negativity bias. The human brain, we're all so much more sensitive to anything that's wrong, anything that's stressful, anything that's negative. Why is that? Well, because your brain's job is not to make you happy. Your brain's job is to help you survive. And so our brains have evolved to have this negativity bias because danger usually comes with negative stimuli, right? So imagine, right, a pack of wolves is running at you, okay? The brain looks at it and goes, oh my God, that's a lot of bad stuff, that's danger, and it helps you figure out what to do. Run, I hope. That's the right decision. So our brain is very good at looking out for physical danger and looking out for what's wrong. Well, these days we don't face a lot of physical danger, so our brain has shifted to look for psychological danger. And how does our brain do that? It constantly looks for what's wrong. You know, recent experience I had, I was out with friends at a dinner, and this was my favorite restaurant. These were wonderful friends. I love them very much. The food was great. We're sitting there. Everything is wonderful, except there's a guy at the next table talking very loudly on his phone. And after a while, I realized I'm not enjoying this wonderful experience. I'm just focusing on how annoying the guy is. Think of the situation in your life. Maybe it's not going to dinner, but think about how often you just can't pause but focus on what's wrong. It's not your fault. It is your brain's negativity bias at work, and the fact it makes it very hard for us human beings to feel joy in the present moment because our brain is always looking for what's wrong. And so the answer is gratitude, because when you intentionally pause and ask your brain to appreciate something in your life as it is, the feeling of sunshine on your face, a great meal with friends, a text from a colleague, a hug from your child, when you actually treat those moments as important, when you pause to feel your appreciation for them, well, they turn from ordinary moments into extraordinary. And it helps to actually reverse your brain's negativity bias. And it helps you experience that contentment, that joy, that happiness in the present moment. And you know, it's amazing. They've done a lot of research where they look at the human brain of people who have practiced gratitude for just a few weeks, and the brain chemistry changes. Practicing gratitude for just a few weeks helps your brain look for positive things on its own. It helps your brain create new neuron connections so that you can feel that sense of happiness and contentment in your life as it is, without always having to chase, I'll be happy when. And that's why gratitude, I think of it as this magic pill often because it's accessible to you at any time. It is completely free. It is very simple to practice, and it has no side effects. And the only thing it asks you to do is to practice. So I want you to take a moment right now. Let's do this together. And I want every single one of you to think about something that you are grateful for right now. And here's something really important when you practice gratitude. You have to be specific. So I often do a lot of workshops in smaller groups, and I say, okay, what are you grateful for? And people say, well, I'm really grateful to be alive. I am grateful you're alive also. but that is too general for your brain. So when you practice gratitude, it's really important to be specific, and the smaller, the better. Research shows that it's the frequency of small positive experiences in our lives that contributes the most to our life satisfaction, rather than any big achievements. So let's take a moment right now, and every single person here do this. Think of something specific that you are really grateful for. And as you do, I want to tell you that the minute you begin to think of what you're grateful for, even before you come up with the answer, your brain starts to release dopamine and serotonin. And for the science geeks like me in the audience, you'll know that those are two neurotransmitters that make you feel really good. Your brain wants you to practice gratitude. The minute you begin to think of something you're grateful for, you feel a little bit better. And so that's the simplicity of this magical practice.